Lore. Is it important? Or is it just for nerds? Good day, friends. Dinar here. Today, I'd like to touch on the importance of lore and story. First off, what exactly is lore, and what's the difference between lore and story? Lore would be the fixed events of the past. It is the beginning, the base, the set in stone that doesn't, or at least shouldn't, change. I say shouldn't change because there's that pesky canon and legends bit. But on the whole, as far as games go, lore is mostly set. Story is the ongoing happenings of now. Think of it as where you came into the game. If lore is the fixed past, story is the ever-changing events of the near past, present, and future. I'll give you a TLDR here. Lore is important, but not for the reasons you may think. Without lore, you wouldn't have a game based on anything. You can't have a story without it, and without a story, nothing you would be doing in a game would make any sort of sense. There would be no names for anything, no good or evil people, no lands, no ominously named dungeons. Lore and story are literally everything that you are looking at on screen in a game. So, whether you read all the quest text in those tasty in-game books, or just speed click through yelling, "Skip!" as a friend of mine does, lore and story are important to you. After all, how could you choose your favorite race to play if there were no races to play? How could you cast your favorite nuke at your prey if there was no amazingly named nuke or prey? Who would you fight? And how would you know to fight them? There's more to the dangers of the world than those rats in the starting island, after all. So you see then that lore is more important than just enjoying knowing what dragon came first. Now then, what about story? What importance does it have in a game? Story is many things. It is, as I said before, the near past, present, and ultimately the future. Story tells us what has happened, what had brought us to where we are today, what threats affect the lands and the future. Story tells us what needs done now, what will need to be done, and why any of that is necessary. When Lord Doomsock the Fragrant threatens the land of Alistair with his pestilent winds of dankness, you, heroes, will need to band together and vanquish him, thereby restoring order and removing the smell of cheese from the realm. Here we see what the problem is, why we are here, who needs our help, and what we need to do. From level 1 to endgame, story drives us through the content, motivating us to continue leveling, gearing, looking for groups, a guild, leading us into dungeons and raids, even to start professions. Without lore and story, you have no content. They work together to immerse you into the game and keep you playing. So even if you don't read every line of quest text or watch each cutscene, you are engaged with the story on some level. And hopefully, you see now that without these two very important things, games would not be the same. Lore is important. Story is important. That's all I have for today, friends. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to click the like and subscribe buttons for me. I'll see you next time.